that's basically all the updates from my end. Happy holidays. Still from the for sure. I can relay that that further information to Anatola and then have that circulated.
Yeah, we all want to know.
Absolutely, most
Thanks.
definitely. Anyone else?
Okay. Good. All right. And Mercedes Jennings. Senator Michael Gianaris.
Good evening, CB2. Thank you so much for having me again. Happy New Year and happy holidays from the senator in our office, Mercedes Jennings, and the community liaison for the state senator's office. Has already just started this week. The senator, of course, will. Sorry about that. Is that better? Okay. Sorry about that. So, I'm trying.
Slightly different direction.
Is this better?
Reverberates close.
A lot of the issues when it comes to Medicaid, Medicare, and insurances, anything relating to education and supporting the Class Size Matter Act, as well as anything relating to housing. As you know, a big housing bill was passed in New York State last session, so anything relating to that will probably be stuff that he'll be focusing on. If there's anything specific, I always say this in every meeting to all constituents, if there's anything specific that you want to see happen in this session when it comes to legislation or budgeting, please let our office know. My contact information is over here. We're located at 3817 Northern Boulevard, Suite 525. So just wanted to let everyone know there. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So I was very pleased to see Andrea Stewart Cousins speak about New York for All Act as part of the agenda for this year.
Yes.
There are several other bills. I'm looking at them online. There's like 7 that deal with protecting our immigrant neighbors and dealing with ICE. And I would just encourage that to be added to the deputy majority leader's list of priorities, and to look at some of the other things some other states are doing to protect their constituents from ICE, because clearly that is a concern. I would also ask that you not forget about infrastructure funding, public infrastructure funding, because Western Queens certainly needs it. We're not going to get it from the Fed, and the city can't do it all. And also about protecting voting access, because I think that's going to become an issue when we get closer to the general election in November from the federal government.
Thank you for bringing those 3 things up, because I know that the senator has, throughout this process, anytime a student that has gone missing in a public school, he has been a huge advocate. He's actually been able to connect a lot of those children back to their families or knowing exactly where they are. So he's a huge proponent for immigration. So that is one of the things that he is in support of. So thank you for reminding me and everyone else.
I saw his post last night, so
Right.
I get it.
But I'm going to continue to let him know that that was mentioned here, and also anything relating to public infrastructure funding as well as voting access. He has always been a huge supporter of voting access, especially when it comes to redistricting and making sure that representatives are represented fairly and justly, and there's equity in that. So I'm going to, again, bring this back to him, but those are things he's also in support of. Anything else? Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. Thanks for ending. I wanted to ask about a housing.
Yes.
So Senate Bill 3397A.
Can you repeat that one more time so I can write it down?
3397A, the Faith-Based Affordable Housing Act, sponsored sponsored by Andrew Bernardis. It would allow religious, like churches, synagogues, temples, to build affordable housing throughout the state. It's got a lot of co-sponsors, including, I think, every other representative of community too. So Kristen Gonzalez, Claire Valdez. I think every other representative of ours co-sponsors it, but I don't think Senator Gianarsis is. So I just like to ask that you take a look at it, please.
I'll double check and make sure. It does sound familiar, but
Hello?
hi, a lot of feedback.
Try again. I'll come over somewhere else. Yeah. Hi, Mercedes. Good to see you. I'm just asking from the Transportation Committee, the bus stop here on Queens Boulevard at 39th Street is getting moved across the street. You had advocated, or Senator Gianaris had advocated, as well as us, as well as Sunnyside Community Service, keep it on the place where it is, just because the bus serves so many people in this organization, and that is a truck route, 39th Street, very, very challenging to cross, very intimidating and daunting, and having a bus stop that lets people out on the exact side that they're trying to get to, especially seniors and people with disabilities, is great. We had asked the MTA to not move it. They sent a letter in December saying they are going to move it eventually this year. So I'm asking for more advocacy to keep it in the same place.
You got it, of course, and he has been in big support of that. Is there a goal date? They haven't given one yet.
They said they were waiting for the construction across the street to finish, and then they're going to build a bus boarding island across the street.
Okay,
So that construction is finished, I believe.
I'm gonna let.
The senator know and see what our office can do. Also, I just asked if you could send like a quick email sometime this evening or tomorrow, just so I can go over the list and like we got to get on top of this because the FDA is still trying to get this stuff.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
Sheila. Here online.
We're aware, and they can now.
Hi, Sheila. Hey.
I'm Nancy Owens from Senator Gonzalez's office. Just has to do with the press conference the other day over there, and also on the extra charges. What is it called exactly? The hidden fees and charges. Junk fees. Thank you. Since telecommunications are regulated by the state, I personally had something happen to me the day after that press charged, and then the fine print was that it would be reimbursed within 3 months. And so I think that stuff like that needs to be looked at because it's also tied to this kind of access to seniors and people who are disabled, and that's who's right out of the bank account. So it could lead to a doubling of a bill to be bouncing the other necessary expenses. So that's regulated by the state. And so it's asking please look into wireless and the internet services because they have all kinds of hidden junk fees and then things that say we'll reimburse you within 2 to 3 months or something like that. You can get more details after the response plan.
Especially with a tight budget, like 3 months makes a huge difference. The difference between paying all your rent or paying other bills. So
The thing about actually wanted to comment. So the huge, I talked to a number of small businesses who were talking about bills that are 100% higher. And 100%. And I can give you names of some of the small businesses out there that want to listen. And that comes right out of their bank accounts. And then the other thing that Con Ed still does is if you don't pay on time for whatever reason, then they mail you with a fine that can also come right out of your bank account. And so these are things that absolutely cripple a small business and even an individual. So that really, they should not, like, I have proposed something that, like, if a bill is going to be greater than 50% higher, they should have to have written, notification to the customer, and they should not be able to take it right out of their account unless they get written confirmation back from that customer, so that they're not completely destroying the person's finances.
Agreed. And I think the center would agree with that. It's open for the community with time. So send me the information, Sheila, let me know what agencies are. Please, okay? Thank you so much.
Okay, I think since sharing this meeting right now, I'm going to add something to this.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
I know it's really not news to Senator Linares because the super speeders bill, which we desperately want to get passed, where people have to have a lot of speeding tickets, have to get a device put in their vehicle to prevent them from going a certain amount faster than the speed limit. And so they still can drive and still have a life. They don't have to have their license suspended. But there's a small minority of people who this would apply. He knows that, and I'm just taking a little bit of liberty here so that the rest of you know about that if you have an opportunity. That has already passed actually it has already passed the Senate. But if he can speak to his colleagues in the Assembly about this, and particularly if the governor would put it into the budget, which he could do, then that would help move this along. It's desperately needed to save lives from speech. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. This is the perfect time, because from January to ideally end of March, that's the time that we focus on the budget. Hopefully it'll pass some time so this is the perfect time for you to bring that up, and I would love to raise his attention again.
And we're thrilled to see the news about the child care and so on that will go in the budget that was already announced today. We have some candidates here.
Anyone else?
Okay. All right. Next topic.
Hi, I'm Karen. I'm the district director for State Senator Kristen Gonzalez. Oh yeah, no worries. I took that down, and I'm actually going to mention that in my update too. But happy holidays, everyone. Hope you all had a restful holiday season. Like Mercedes mentioned, it's the first week of session for the state legislature. Last year, Senator Gonzalez introduced over 50 bills, 19 of which passed the Senate, and she's excited to continue working for you all up in Albany. As chair of the Senate Internet and Technology Committee, she is committed to ensuring the safe and ethical adoption of technology. She's introduced bills to address the use of AI in mental health care, journalism, education, health insurance, and more. And next Thursday, she'll be holding a legislative hearing on the private sector use of AI here in New York City at the Senate Hearing Room at 250 Broadway in Manhattan, and this will also be live streamed. If anyone is interested in tuning in, please come find me. I'm happy to share the details. Earlier this week, she was proud to join the mayor, attorney general, and other elected colleagues for the signing of an executive order to ban junk fees and subscription traps. And I took your notes down. I'll be sure to pass that along to the senator and our legislative team. This morning, she also joined the governor, mayor, advocates, and other elected officials for the announcement of universal child care for 2-year-olds. She's committed to working with city and state leadership, her elected colleagues, and advocates to continue addressing affordability in New York. And finally, speaking of the mayor, a reminder that with his former assembly seat now vacant, our office is taking state-level cases in the part of that district that overlaps with ours. If you need help or if you're not sure if you would be in our district, feel free to contact us anytime at gonzalez@nysenate.gov for assistance. Any questions? All right. Thank you
very
all.
much. Not even me. Okay, now Tiffany. Tiffany, where are you? Oh, on Zoom. I'm sorry. Okay. Tiffany, are you?
Hi, yes, can you everyone hear me?
Okay.
Okay, one moment. Okay. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Can you hear
wonderful.
us?
Yes, I can.
Good.
So, hello everyone. Apologies that I cannot be there in person tonight. I unfortunately got struck with the flu, as many have this new year. It's only been 8 days in, and we're all under the weather. However, I'm still wanted to give some important updates, especially something that happened an hour ago. So the Congress has actually voted, well, not Congress, the House, because the House and the Senate, but the House has voted to extend an expired Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act premium tax credits for 3 more years. The final vote was 230 to 196. All Democrats voted in favor and 17 Republicans supported the bill. Of course, Congresswoman Nydia Velázquez supported this bill. This bill now goes on to the U.S. Senate, where the senators will be discussing some potential negotiations and potential compromises, but nothing is finalized yet. Just wanted to give an update on what's happening on the House side. As for this week, a few days ago, actually, the Congresswoman actually pushed back on the Small Business Administration Office of Advocacy to explain and question why had they not done enough to push back on all of the policies, specifically Trump's tariffs that are hurting all small businesses. The Congresswoman believes that small businesses deserve a strong advocate who speaks up for policies regardless of who has power in the House. Doesn't matter if you're a Republican or Democrat, small businesses need to be supported. And then lastly, I know during the news this week, unfortunately, we have seen what ICE has been doing, and just wanted to put out there that the Congresswoman condemned the fatal shooting of the Minnesota woman involving federal agencies, ICE, and this is something that she condemned, and it's just really upsetting what's happening nowadays. And she actually posted on her social media, she spoke out to say for Trump to stop calling American citizens terrorists, and basically to ensure full transparency investigation, as the public safety needs some sort of accountability, because what's happening nowadays is really ridiculous. If you need any other concerns or assistance, or you want to talk about community concerns, please give our office a call. We're here to listen with you and to advocate with you. 718-340-6244. All right, those are my updates.
Danielle?
Hi, Happy New Year. Thank you. Sorry that you're sick. Talking about ICE and what happened yesterday and I realize it's difficult because of the situation in Washington. Is there any thought about some kind of looking at what happened within the Congress, or impeachment for Christine Nome, I think her name is, or I realize some of this might be not realistic, or just like an investigation or something about, allowing at least the people in Minneapolis to investigate, because apparently the federal government has intervened to say that isn't allowed.
Yeah. No, definitely. The Congresswoman's with you on that. She definitely wants to push for an investigation. So more is to come with that. Since it did happen yesterday, there's not really much updates that I could give on that, but for an investigation, she's all in favor for that. In on the terms for impeaching Christian Gnomes, that's something that I could put in the Congresswoman's ear, even though that's something that she might probably agree with already. But you know, it's also good to explore what are some other options that could be implemented in this case. So I'll bring it back to the team and I'll update you guys next month
Thank you.
about this for sure.
Yeah, I want to take the opportunity also to just introduce another word that laden, but called defund. Why aren't we defunding ICE? Anyway, just in case you have an answer.
I unfortunately do not have an answer, but that's something that the Congresswoman would support as well. It's just with the political climate right now and with Congress having the majority of Republicans um in Congress, it's kind of hard to pass or kind of push for any legislation or advocacy. Well, not advocacy, because we could advocate as much as we can, but on a legislative level, it's really hard to kind of push anything through that is, you know, that the Republicans would kind of want as well. But that's another thing that I could push for the Congresswoman to kind of explore as well.
Thank you. We so admire her. Okay, any other questions or me battle from what? Thank you.
Thank you.
From Assemblyman Margo's office. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hi, everyone. Happy belated New Year. My name is Jamie. I'm from Assemblymember Stephen Raga's office. So a couple quick updates. Today, Assemblymember Raga was at 26 Federal Plaza with some companions in regards to the events that happened yesterday and in general with the announcement of increased ICE raids in the district. Our office continues to monitor those, and we have our response teams and we have partnerships with other community orgs in the district. So once we are notified that ICE sighting is there, we definitely do outreach to help those and try to be there as an effective ally, especially if the raid is still happening. Other updates is we continue with our ACE cleanings. Because of the season change, the services, especially on snow days, will be snow plowing. So if you know any seniors, if you are a senior who would love to be on our list, please feel free to find me in the back. We can have about 15 to 20 seniors each time there's a snow day, and they'll come in for free and they'll plow the snow. Likewise, if you know of any high traffic areas in the district that you see that either the business isn't open or they're not doing their due diligence of making sure that it's clear, let us know too, and we can also mark those. We have a couple of sidewalks in Elmhurst that have been of keynote that we've been getting calls for. Additionally, we also have our big MLK cleaning community day happening. So if you have any volunteers or you'd like to volunteer, please let us know. It'll be on Roosevelt and Broadway, and we can definitely get you signed up. And we also had our holiday toy drive in December where we allocated over 200 toys to families specifically in the district that are of need. And as always, we always have mobile office hours, especially with these times. Please do not hesitate to send people our way, to call our office, etc., if anyone needs of help. With that said, are there any questions? Yes.
First of all, define senior.
65 and older, but if there is someone who is disabled or limited in ability, please let us know.
I ask because some things at 62, some things at
Yes.
65, etc. And the second thing is, so what's happening with the state and city sidewalks that are not cleared?
So those definitely, if you see those, let us know and we'll immediately follow up with the agency. Also pair with the council member's office to make sure that we can get the city agencies involved.
Thank you.
Could also let the CB2 office know. Yeah, not a board member, we have to, but you can sign up for public comment later.
Or find me, I'm happy to chat. Okay, thank you all, have a good year.
Thank you. Okay, and next we have Farah Salam. Council member.
$2.2 billion into our neighborhoods in the city. We closed out 7,384 constituent cases, increased school seats by 6,000 through K through 12. We gave away, during our yearly giveaways, 4,000 toys, 5,000 turkeys and chickens, and 8,800 backpacks for school-aged children. So that's just a recap of the last 2 terms. This term, we are still awaiting Councilmember One's committee assignments, but once we get that, we'll share that with everyone. We do have a few events coming up. We have the discretionary training for nonprofits. This is for anybody looking to apply for discretionary funds. It's on January 14th, so next week at 6:00 p.m. It is online, and we do have a few, you can sign up through our website or reach out to our WHU staff or Amy Van Martinez. And for me to get this update, I'm now Councilmember One's Chief of Staff. So that's a little change. Also some updates for budget. Those were nonprofits that are applying for budget or for capital funding. So deadline for projects requesting both borough president and council funding is February 19th, 2026. The deadline for projects requesting only New York City Council funding is a month later on March 19th, 2026. In terms of other events, we have our housing lawyer appointments on January 12th and January 26th. If you or anybody you know needs assistance with their landlords or wants to, they just have pressing questions to ask about their housing situation, please reach out to our office. We're more than happy to schedule an appointment. We do have some availability for our immigration clinic. This is especially for our neighbors who may have TPS, are undocumented, or just have a lot of pressing questions about their immigration statuses. And then applications for 3K and pre-K open next week on the 14th. They are due on the 27th. If you are trying to apply on the 14th, the website might crash. It is okay, because you'll still be able to apply. I know I have to apply for 3K, so it's gonna be a little bit of a stressful journey for us that day. The applications are due on February 27th, and the offers for pre-K are released on May 12th, and the offers for 3K are released on May 19th. Next week, also on the 14th is a very busy day, as you all know. We have our DP flooding town hall at Culture Lab. We have this is open to everybody who lives in because this is within Long Island City, it's open to everybody who lives in Long Island City, and DP is kind enough to give us flooding kits, 75 of them. So we want 75 registrations for that event. And Dr. Roz is holding up the flyer for us. Scan the QR code, click the link, and please register. And there are flyers on your table. The following week, on the 21st, we will be having our DP Flooding Town Hall here in Sunnyside Community Services, and it's the same situation. We are asking people to register. Once you register, you will be eligible for a free flooding kit. And then we had to reschedule our LIC Parks Walk and Talk with the New Yorkers for Parks. It was originally on the 10th, this Saturday, but due to unforeseen circumstances, we now have to move it to January 24th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Earlier this week, Councilmember One joined Mayor Mamdani, the Attorney General, Speaker Menon, and other colleagues as the mayor signed an executive order to ban junk fees and subscription traps. This is really exciting because now DCWP can enforce compliance on deceptive business practices and enforce stronger protections for New Yorkers. And then we have a few One LIC updates. Councilmember One will be here next month to answer all board member questions, but in the meantime, the city rezoning commitments tracker is now updated to include the One LIC neighborhood plan. We're confident that the new mayor and Mayor Mamdani will be supportive in implementing all of the commitments that came with One LIC, but we also believe it's important to have community accountability. So our office has been working to set up a community oversight committee of people who live and work in Long Island City, as well as local experts. With the new mayoral transition, many city agencies are still awaiting new leadership appointments. These agencies will not be able to begin implementing the One LIC
plan until their leadership and staffing is confirmed. So we're on track for the implementation timeline. And we know, so a lot of people, about 100 people filled out our interest form, and we're working in close collaboration with Anatole and other people on the community board and community partners to fill out full committees, and we're seeking foundation funding to support the committee's work. So that's it for all of our updates. I hope that was 2 minutes.
Basically, Riley, gonna go for, oh, Warren, you're even,
Oh, shit.
you're going for the people that spoke. Priority on people who've spoken least. So,
Sure. Warren, you want to go first? Yeah, okay. Hello, and good to see you here. I just wanted to say, with the new mayor, as soon as the mayor became the mayor, he introduced his new DOT commissioner, and a lot of the energy in the first few days seems to be with the DOT and saying we're going to make the city a better city, more livable city for everybody, cyclists, pedestrians, motorists. Our transportation committee has a lot of letters, resolutions that we've made asking for protected bike lanes and pedestrian safety improvements within our district. We get a lot of people giving us advice on where these things are needed. The Streets Master Plan requires that a certain number of bike lanes be built every year, and New York City has not met those goals. So there are a lot of places to build bike lanes and pedestrian safety improvements within our district. Most recently, we've taken a vote on Greenpoint Avenue and Roosevelt Avenue right through the district, as well as places in Sunnyside south of Queens Boulevard and Woodside, which has really no protected bike lanes. So I would ask that the council member read our letters, our resolutions, and ask the mayor to please start building.
Yeah, we'll definitely review those, and Councilmember One will of course advocate to both the mayor and the new DOT commissioner to get those bike lanes and other safety improvements on track.
Thank you. You said that the council member allocated about $2 billion within her tenure within the last
4 years.
4 years, right? Out of that $2 billion, I don't recall seeing any investments in Blissville. One. Number two is we saw that Blissville, which during the LIC, one LIC plan is a context area. Yet the council member was able to secure $200 million for another context area in Community Board 1 for Queensbridge, which I applaud Queensbridge for being able to secure that money. Now we hear that there's money that's going to be secured for sewer infrastructure for other areas outside of Long Island City. And no disrespect to the people in Sunnyside, good for the people in Sunnyside, but I don't see anything for Blissville, which is a community that's in desperate need for infrastructure repairs, infrastructure investments. Would not want to see the council member do her last 4 years without concerning herself what's going on in Community Board 2. There's many advocates here in Community Board 2, good friends here in Community Board 2 who fought a good fight on our behalf and with us, and hopefully the council member is on board. I'll be here next month, I'll be here next week. I'm not gonna stop, we're not gonna stop, so
No,
thank you again.
and thank you for sharing that. Just a quick clarification on the $2 billion invested, that usually goes towards capital projects, so that is throughout, like all infrastructure projects within the district, right? That could be trees planted, that could be road improvements, that could be a variety of things that don't impact one certain neighborhood, but is meant to address all the needs of all the neighborhoods within the district. It also goes towards nonprofit funding, schools, parks, renovations, things like that. So all of these investments in the community, every year after we pass the budget, we put out a whole description on our weekly email as well as in our newsletter, just describing what a lot of the investments that Councilmember One has fought for to get invested in the community look like. And also a lot of these also goes towards like city, city programs such as like 2K for all or 3K for all or things like that, you know? And so that is one thing I wanted to address in regards to the flooding and other major weather things impacting Blissville. We'll definitely work with DEP to make sure that you have all your needs addressed. I'll have our district manager, our new district manager, work with you on getting that addressed. And I believe you're acquainted with her. Name's Teresa Catone. I know she's coming for the green asphalt walkthrough in a couple of, I believe in the next couple of weeks. And then for One LIC, I will ask our land use director to probably address that in an email to you because she is more familiar with the entire project and the context areas and investments in those, especially in Queensbridge. But thank you for sharing that.
Okay, Sheila and then Danielle.
Hey, how are you? Congratulations.
Thank you.
So two things that have to do with, one has to do with the co-ops. I've been hearing from a number of people, and I can forward some stuff on to you, that two laws that one was put forward by Jamani Williams a number of years ago even, is how co-op boards need to give a reason for denying an application to go through for a purchase. I don't know if you know about this. Right now they do not. So people can, and they can have everything, or they may have to tell them. It's just no. The other thing is to put in some regulation about how long the process should take before the board can officially respond. I know of one situation where, in a state situation, where the apartment sat for a year because the board didn't respond, and yet the people who were trying to sell it then had to continue to pay for it, including paying taxes because the board did not act. They should have a timeline in which they have to respond. So there's around co-ops. The other thing has to do with homes throughout the district, including Blissville, including Long Island City, Sunnyside, is that the DEP offers to replace the lead water service lines into homes in certain areas at no cost. Not this area, because the income levels have been considered to be higher. That doesn't help somebody who's been in their home for 40 years. Or 30 years, or who is a teacher on an income that cannot just afford to pay that. That should not be the case where people get cut off. So I'm asking her to press the DEP to provide that service throughout the city. Otherwise, the city's just saying we're turning the other way because you can't afford it, so you're going to have lead coming in your water. So that is just wrong.
And thank you for bringing those up. With the co-ops, please feel free to forward it to us. I'll have our legislative team look into it. For the DEP thing, Councilmember One's been aware of it, and we've been working, pushing DEP, and I think our legislative team was also looking into ways to get DEP to comply and help homeowners who have lived in the district, who may have lived in their homes for 40 years, or who are qualified for SKI or DHE, to be able to get some assistance here, because just because you own a home in a neighborhood that is considered a little bit higher income but you yourself are not higher income, does not mean that you shouldn't get the services you need to replace lead pipes.
If anything, they should just cut it off based on income. If you make over a certain amount, you don't qualify. If you make under a certain amount, you qualify.
Right.
Otherwise, we're just letting people, the lead go into their water, their drinking water, just because they live in a certain area. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Congratulations, Happy New Year.
Thank you, Happy New Year.
Okay, forgive me, there's a lot going on. There's a special election in my assembly district and other stuff, pathetic government. Did the other guy, the former mayor, sign One LIC? Did he have to sign that, or it was just a city council vote?
It was just a city council vote.
Okay, so there's it's not gonna be stopped, I guess.
No, because it was passed by city council.
Okay, so it's not a mayor dependent. Okay, gotcha. Thanks.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I'd like to just, I'm sorry. Were there any, you don't see anybody? Come on. Okay. I'd like to just say, we're going to be having public comment, after a few more of our representatives speak. And if you want to be heard, you need to, if you haven't done it online, come up and there's a sheet you can sign in, and that way we'll recognize you, like Mr. Lobello there, my neighbor. All right, does the borough president have something to say?
All right, good evening, CB2. Hope everyone had a happy New Year. Happy to be here on behalf of Queensborough President Donovan Richards Jr. Our office is holding a virtual Housing Connect webinar on finding affordable housing on Tuesday, January 20th at 6 p.m. via Zoom. You may RSVP on our website at queensbp.nyc.gov. Whether you're a resident or advocate, come learn from Housing Connect directly on how to use the city's official portal for finding affordable housing, lottery applications, and eligibility criteria. Looking ahead, on Monday, February 23rd at 5 p.m., we'll be hosting our Lunar New Year celebration at Queensborough Hall. Join us for this celebration featuring cultural performances, food, and special honors for distinguished members of the AAPI community. That same week, on Wednesday, February 25th at 5:30 p.m., we'll be hosting our Black History Month celebration at Queensborough Hall. During this event, BP Richards will announce the winning students of his annual African American Heritage Scholarship, which he relaunched in December. As part of our ongoing efforts to make higher education more accessible, the Borough President relaunched this annual scholarship competition last month for high-achieving Queens High School seniors interested in pursuing a college education. Applications must be submitted by Friday, January 9th, and reviewed by the Borough President's African American Heritage Committee. I suppose that's tomorrow. The scholarship application form can be accessed online. And see me afterwards, and high school transcripts can be submitted by email to our director, Shern Anderson, at shuanderson@queensbp.nyc.gov. You may RSVP to any of the events on our website. And finally, another office initiative, the Community Board application has reopened for 2026 appointments. It will close on February 13th, 2026. For all those interested in applying or reapplying, the online form is available at bit.ly/communityboard2026 and on our website at www.queensbp.nyc.gov. For current CB members, if you are unsure if you need to reapply, if you were appointed on an even year, you are due for renewal and should reapply if interested. If you are unsure what year you were appointed, your chair and district manager were provided a roster list with that information back in November. Our office also has that information. Just reach out and ask for our Director of Community Boards, Michael Carlier. He is available at 718-286-2618 or mcarlier@queensbp.nyc.gov. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to our office. You can always call 718-286-3000, or you can always contact me directly at lshepard, LSHEPARD, @queensbp.nyc.gov.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
And one of the things that I noticed on transportation committee probably this spring, people from won the Housing Connect lottery and were residing in Long Island City and Towers there. They're very upset because they couldn't find on-street parking, which you wouldn't really expect it down there, but they didn't know that. And I'm wondering if Housing Connect has anything to inform people. There's a way that they could also be asked to let them know that if you select this particular property, the likelihood of finding on-street parking might be low, or high, depending on where you are. It just seems to be a relevant thing.
Also, one other thing, please recycle your Christmas trees at Mulch Fest. There's a flyer over there. You can always call 311 to find the Mulch Fest locations. Thank you.
So now also, do we have any nonprofits here that are inside on the move, friendship, community services? No. So I think the Department of City Planning people are here. Please come up.
I'm Katie Crawford from the Department of City Planning. I just have one quick update for you all tonight. The final industrial plan was released in late December, and that's available on our website. I will send an email to Debbie to send out to you all so you have the link. And that's my update. If you guys have any questions, happy
Happy New Year, and quick question, you might not have the answer to this. So recently, there's been more press, there was talk about the DCP is dismantling the urban design division, and I was wondering if you could give us more information to that, because it seemed like going through one LIC, they were very helpful, and if you don't have more information on that, you get the board more information on that, and how that's going to affect our work.
Yeah, so I don't have a ton of information. The central division is going to be breaking up, but that does not mean that we're losing urban designers.
Each of our borough offices have a couple urban designers for Queens. Many of them did work on the LAC plan, and they're like still in our more information as it comes out, but that's basically as much info as I have today.
Okay. So, are we set? All right, well.
That's it. All right, thank you.
Thank you. So I just want some of the latecomers not to think I'm taking over. Anatol's voice is very marginal, and so he's giving me notes, and that's why I'm just the voice here. So, are we ready for public comment, I think? And we have two people, Jordan Rosenthal. Is Jordan on Zoom? Jordan, are you here? Okay. Unmute yourself, please. You're still muted. There, good.
Hi. Hi, everyone. My name is Jordan Rosenthal. I live in Hunters Point South. Oh, this is my dog, Franklin. And I'm actually talking because I've been to many community boards, but never my own, ironically. And I am an advocate who works on non-police mental health crisis response systems. And I'm really frustrated that the times that I've tried to reach out to Julie Wan's office and talk about the need for Be Heard expansion, which is the Behavioral Health Emergency Assistance Response Division, and talking about budget negotiations, they haven't been the most receptive. And I also am just curious about kind of getting involved in community boards outside of my professional capacity. So that's kind of why I signed up for public comment and just wanted to introduce myself. Like I said, I am a social worker by trade, and I have 10 years plus of doing advocacy in underserved communities in New York City on issues from substance use and harm reduction to supportive housing, and now am the director of advocacy at a major supportive housing organization. So again, just really here to be like, can we get some we need Be Heard in the district. It's really important, especially as the fact that we have the most number of shelters, and mental health crises happen everywhere. And especially when people aren't stably housed and are being put in situations where tensions run high. Thank you. I cede my time. If you have questions, I don't really know how your committee works like that. Thank you. I can't hear. I don't know. I'm sorry. And I have the wording up on the bottom. Can someone like type in what he's saying in the chat?
Okay, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, I encourage you to reach out to Community Board 2 and reach out to Lauren Springer. She's the chair of the Health and Human Services
and Education.
Committee. They would be really happy to have you come by and speak on this subject. I don't know the process of going to speak, but reach out to Community Board 2 and they'll connect you with Lauren Springer. And then, when is the next meeting? When's the next meeting?
So we have an agenda already. But
We can talk offline. It's okay. But yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
We had Sheila.
Just piggybacking on what Warren said is like on land use, and I'd love to know more about the supportive housing structures that you're working with, because I do think that's something we should be advocating for in any housing that's developed. We shouldn't be having any housing for less resourced people that is not fully supported in a way that's accessible and affordable. So I'd love to hear more about that too.
Yeah.
I have one observation also, if I, with the chairs, if I could speak for the board to say, I don't believe we have social workers on the board. We would love to have social workers, and if you would apply, this is the perfect time. We're having a meet and greet. We'll be talking about, come and talk to us. Come to any meetings you can. Come to the Health and Human Services. Yeah, come to Health and Human Services on the 12th remotely, just so you get a sense of who we are and what we do. Because if you apply, one of the things that speaks very strongly in your application, I dare to say, is I've been to the meetings, and you said you'd been to other meetings, so you know what you're in for, because we want you, if you get on the board, we want you to be here and be active. So
thank you so much. And I've been to like meetings in the Bronx and Washington Heights. CB12 knows me very well. I don't know if anyone knows who Tanisha Grant is from Parents Supporting Parents, but she and I are really close. And to answer the other individual's question about supportive housing. So supportive housing is actually really, really difficult to build in Queens, because I've asked our C-suite, even though I'm leadership, I don't work on the housing contracts because it's a different type of advocacy. And I've been told that it is very, very difficult to get the ULURP and the land use passed in Queens as a whole. Because I've asked, because I actually live in, in Hunters Point South. I won it through the housing lottery. There's a little bit of, I believe, supportive housing in my building through Riseboro. I'm not completely sure. But what I've heard is that the ULURP process is extraordinarily difficult in Queens. And that's why you see a disproportionate amount in places like the Bronx.
okay, Sheila, briefly, please.
Just to respond quickly, I actually would love to hear your kind of the models that we could then be building into our advocacy. Because I'm aware, unfortunately, of this and some of the history of it, but the models, we need the models that we could be fighting for, and to our council person, to the state, the models for fully supportive housing.
Yeah, I will email you all as much as I can. The Supportive Housing Network of New York is an amazing resource. I would say low barrier housing is great. Also, as someone who has I work with people with serious mental illness by doing things around like AOT orders also, which is like involuntary removals, and I say how they're problematic. And a lot of this, I don't want to take up too much time, is about relationship building with people and making people feel trusted, and that like the housing isn't going to be taken away by them breaking a rule. And there's such a hard transition going from shelter, jail, whatever, to these places, that it can be a shock to people's systems. And happy to come to the Health and Human Services and talk to you guys offline. I don't want to take up too much time, but thank you so much for making space and allowing for public comment. I really, really appreciate it. And pardon my appearance. It's been a long work day.
We have one more question.
Thank you so much for, this will be really quick, but thanks for coming. And no apologies necessary. All I wanted to say was, you might also want which is also online. It's on the third Wednesday of the month. I think it's the 21st, right? And January 21st at 6 p.m. And you can get a link on the website. You go to the calendar section, and so if you could come to the land use, some of my colleagues are here on the land use committee and we would love to have you pop by or at some point.
Okay. Caitlin Greer, who's a policy land use person out of the city council office, we go way back. So.
Okay, well, Jordan, you can see you have homework.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. Have a great night.
And welcome. Now, the next person is Tom Tuzas. Please, you're up.
Thank you. Good evening, Community Board Number 2. Thank you. Yesterday, the Blissville Civic Association and several businesses in Blissville had the opportunity to testify before the City Planning Commission with respect to DEP's combined sewer overflow tunnel. We spoke of our support for the plan. However, the lack of community outreach by DEP, the investments we seek, and specifically the application of New York State law for New York State disadvantaged communities such as Blissville. And we spoke of the response we received from city planning during one of CB2's land use committee meetings, where they touted the CSO tunnel as an investment for Blissville. Ladies and gentlemen, as it stands today, there are no investments for Blissville associated with the CSO tunnel. However, we seek to change that. Yesterday, we were armed with the unanimous support from Community Board 2. We were armed with the Borough President's board meeting's unanimous support. Thank you again. So what's next? It's now up to city planning to make a decision. And then it goes to city council. Our hope is that Councilmember Wan advocates for us. In short, as we understand the New York State law, it is not enough to tell us the harm that comes to us. The state law's intent was to ensure disadvantaged communities were not left behind. Thank you, Community Board 2, for your continued support, and Happy New Year. Second item, Mercedes, thank you. We look forward to meeting with Senator Gianaris. And that's all I have today. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Same back. Okay, next up, Joe Lobello, and then we're going to have Barry Druce, Doug Corman. Yes, I do. Mike is on.
Oh, okay. Thank you, CB2, for all your hard work and your patience and your time and your commitment to the community. Y'all are fantastic. I'm here to ask for your help in cleaning up and getting the cars off the sidewalk in the area north of here between Sunnyside and Woodside. It's between 38th Avenue and 37th Avenue in the mid-50s, kind of by that Woodside Community School. And the reason why I'm bringing this up today is with our 52nd Street subway station shut down for construction going towards Manhattan in the morning, a lot of us are walking towards the R train now, and it's very, very noticeable how bad the conditions are. And I'll give you the three conditions specifically before I run out of time. First is there's no alternative side of the street parking on those blocks. So they're littered with kind of abandoned cars and beaters from the chop shop. Second, those same businesses take up a lot of the sidewalk. Yesterday, I was following a group of moms and parents with strollers. It's very, very difficult for them to get around these vehicles on the sidewalk. And third, a lot of the businesses seem not to really care about the litter and the garbage they leave out on the street. There are boxes blowing around, paper cups everywhere. It's really a hazardous conditions for any pedestrian walking to and from the subway station or just in general around the community. So in summary, I really love to get your help and support on cleaning up that part of town so it's a little bit more pedestrian friendly and safer for us all. Thank you, CB2, for your time.
Don't
Quick
go
question,
away. Don't
have a
go
quick-
away. I think,
Quick question. Have you reported this to 311, these illegal sidewalk parking?
Yes, I have. And spoken to sanitation about it as well. Thank you.
And Riley, do you want to comment about this? I think the Woodside Ave especially, there's a particular shop there that
And the new school makes it tough.
Outrageous.
The new Northern Boulevard
Yeah.
School with the kids in that
they
neighborhood.
need.
Yeah, this is a major issue for this district, for this board, for the city. It's become more than just a police issue. It's a political issue where, the police will not issue summonses in most cases. They won't tow. They won't do anything. Once in a while, I report a lot of the cars too. Once in a while, you'll see a summons, but typically not in front of the auto businesses. So it takes up a lot of time for this board, for the Transportation Committee on this, and then we have to try to come up with ways with the DOT where maybe we could turn that street into alternate side parking or metered parking for the new school. But everything you're saying is stuff that we've been saying, and I know our district manager, Debbie, is saying it at monthly meetings to the police themselves. Unfortunately, the police don't come to our meetings very much. But we will continue to advocate, and if you file those 311 complaints, send them to the district office, to Debbie, and she will advocate for us. But I think most important is hearing from people in the community that this is not, the auto businesses think that they own the neighborhood and they could, if everybody's doing it, they could do it too. But people live here. I always say, an auto business exists between somebody's home and their subway, or between somebody's home and their school and their church. And these are our streets.
Well said, Riley. Thank you.
Okay, Maury.
I just want to echo what Riley said about the board office. If you CC, or forward a message to the board office, our board office, the district manager, Marianne, or Debbie and Marianne will get right on it and make sure and follow up. And Debbie has a meeting every month with all the agencies, and because I know our tenants association has had problems, other kind of problems, and she'll just follow up until it gets done. So definitely get the email address and follow up with all those, and get your C311 numbers or whatever they're called, 31C, whatever, and send them to the office.
Thank you.
Okay, we have another question online. Corey Hannigan. Oh, Danielle.
Hi, nice to meet you. Happy New Year. Steve and I are the co-chairs of the City Services Committee. Either this month or maybe next month, the precinct captain from the 108 is going to come to the meeting. We will make sure, I want to get from Debbie the exact location, but we will make sure to bring this up with him. But in the meantime, I think Debbie can probably reach out too at the same time, but we will make sure. We spend a lot of time talking about this. So.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Corey.
I just want to say I really appreciate the comments. My partner lives in the area, and we're walking through that area all the time. We see the same thing you're seeing, and we share the frustration. Another outlet I'd like to raise is the 108th Precinct has their monthly community meeting, community council meeting on the last Tuesday of every month. So this month it's the 27th at 7 p.m. I believe it's at the New York Irish Center in Long Island City. But that could be another place to go, and that's bring it to them directly. That's a place they go ostensibly to hear from the community. I'd love if we could get a whole group together, but I don't have the capacity to organize that. But that would be another area I think that we could just continue hammering to get this problem addressed.
Yeah. I would just like to also add the business about alternate side parking not being present it seems to be tied to the sanitation departments doing street cleaning, but that has an unfortunate side effect, and I wish we could break that linkage somehow. It's not something you can do or I can do, that causes these problems, and there are people who store their vehicles. I mean, you probably know about the little gray Jaguar that's on the corner of something like 55th Street and 37th Ave. It's been there for 2 years, 3 years, belongs to the owner of the auto business. And, that shouldn't be. Anyway, and we have, you're next. Thank you. Barry? Doug, oh, okay, Doug Corman, go for it.
I think I better hold this.
Yeah.
I'm going to aim it away from the speaker. Hi, my name is Doug Corman, and I'll just give you a quick brief on my story as best as I can and field any questions you may have. I was around this neighborhood as a little boy because my family is all from Jackson Heights. And my dad was the head of the printing department of the Queensborough Public Library. And so I'm a son of this city, and I've been very active in a lot of different things. I'm actually one of the founders of the pedicab industry in New York, so I'm very familiar with the city council from back in the 2007 era when the regulation was being formulated. And I had to work with council members, and it was a rocky road, and eventually we got a bill that was fairer than the first one. I was one of the people responsible for Mayor Bloomberg giving a veto for the original bill in the Blue Room when he was ready to sign it. We protested vigorously, and we got a fairer bill signed eventually, and Mayor Bloomberg gave me the pen that he signed the bill. So as far as city government background, well, my ancestors came here in 1638. And my grandfather from 12 generations ago was appointed by Peter Stuyvesant as one of 9 men. You could look that up on Wikipedia. There were different areas that these rulers were given to oversee things. And my grandfather back then, Michael Jansen Vreeland, it's on a historical record in the city website under courts. He was responsible for both sides of the Hudson River and in what was called New Netherland. Okay, so enough on that. So I'm committed to the land, and I'm here to talk about a piece of land that is considered a dead space in city planning. Okay, it's a space that was neglected, not cared about, and was severely dumped on. It's an area down near Borden Avenue and 27th Street, which is in line with Review Avenue, and it's under the Long Island Expressway. And it's an acre of land with an adjoining half an acre on the dead-end street where sadly 3 people died about 3 years ago in the summertime, and they were going too fast and crashed into the creek and drowned. So what you have there is what was a dumping ground. For about 8 years now, I was cleaning that land, starting with garbage bags, little bit at a time when I had time, slowly filling up garbage bags one at a time. And it turned into a much bigger project when I started to learn about community member interest with the Newtown Creek Alliance, and they gave us help and got us containers from the DEP. Well, over time...
We're running short.
I didn't know how much time I had.
Oh, 2 minutes, that was it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Please take 30 more seconds.
Okay, well, I want to make a proposal. I'd like to get on the agenda next month. I have a robust proposal for a park space there that would be a destination, not just something for the community, although it would benefit the community. I know Blissville is in desperate need of recreational space. It's waterfront property. There could be canoeing and all kinds of things. I have a plan. I'm sorry I didn't know I was that short. I did talk 2 nights ago to the board. It was much smaller. So any questions, I'm here to answer.
Yeah, this was already discussed at great length at this proposal at the Transportation Committee meeting.
Well, I am concerned about the DOT coming in and wrecking the land for the work that they want to do on the highway, and that's the main reason I'm here. I should have said that sooner instead of blabbing about myself. I just want you to know who I am.
Hey, Doug, welcome. Welcome, and I did ask you to come to the board to just bring that to the board as well. So we got to hear from you at Transportation Committee, and essentially the spot is the spot that land use heard about down by Newtown Creek, where the ad hoc skate park is, and big reuse had said essentially the same thing, that it's a derelict space that's been cleaned up over time by the people in the community, and so it's nice to meet the people in the community. Essentially, you have an idea for the space, and you're feeling compelled to come to us now because the highway above is going to be repaired in a state of good repair.
I don't want to see them cut down trees and put blacktop and load it with trucks to say this is ours, because they do have authority over at the DOT. But you have many different factions now. You have state DOT doing the rehabilitation, you have city DOT, you have different parts of government. It's federally funded. So there's a lot of questions about what's going to happen there, and it really needs to benefit the community, and it could in a great way. I mean, my vision is to put a giant geodesic dome underneath the main area to make a great meeting space for all kinds of events, and 2 smaller domes for growing on either side to the east and west, so that these domes can make, food for the neighborhood. I mean, it's real growing capacity. There's tremendous light on that side of the highway in the morning, and we could have recreational things for the kids. We could have educational aspect of it, tying in the community colleges nearby. We could have arts and culture development there, workshops, canoeing on the creek, docks built. There's all kinds of things to do with that space. It could be spectacular. And the other great thing about it is for public events or concerts, there's nobody living in the immediate area, so all the noise they make is not disturbing anybody, so there wouldn't be a sound or noise ordinance required or anything like that.
All right, so yeah, so I think getting that to the board, to the representatives of our elected officials out here, because we are looking for green space, and we have talked with city planning a lot about finding green space. So that green space, it was discussed with Willis and Gill, Newtown Creek, and big reuse.
I'll put a PowerPoint together. My brother's a world-class architect. He will help me design the structures.
So I think just advocacy before the spot gets shut down by city and state for the repairs is a good idea. Sheila, did you want to add in?
I was just going to probably add to what you were saying, or support what you were saying, is work with big reuse, like you guys were all working together. Would actually be a very strong
I'm very
case.
interested in having participation on all parties, including Warren and Thomas, because I know they have an interest in seeing that space developed to benefit the community. But I'm not pie in the sky kind of guy. I've been involved in planning a lot of different things. I used to be involved with.
I don't want to, because it was just.
We'll never make our 8:30 time limit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So we are very much on board with this. Thank you.
Yeah, but thank you so much for being here.
And Barry? Nice. There's nobody else online.
Hello, everybody. My name is Barry Dresden. I'm involved in transportation issues. I'd like to talk about bus rapid transit, which I think is extremely relevant now because of all the building activity that's going on. 14,700 new apartments. It's going to change our transportation game, and we're going to see a lot of cars. I figure between 6,000 and 10,000 more cars will hit this neighborhood from outside and from inside. So we need alternative. The bike, one person, one bike, there's not too much usage of bikes. You look at the bike lanes, they're almost empty. Cars, there's just too many cars. Everybody's using cars. We need an alternative. Bus operations are too slow and too infrequent. We need bus rapid transit. It's like a subway operation. Every 2 minutes, every 3 minutes, a bus comes. It's on regular time, and these buses are much bigger than the regular buses. In YouTube, there's a C5 bus in Copenhagen, Denmark, that's 150 people. It can carry 150 people. We need to do that. An example would be this street right here, Queens Boulevard. When the demand for the 7 train is exceeded and you can't get into Manhattan because there's no room on the 7 train at our stations here, That's justification for bus rapid transit over here. This is a high demand right of way. The same with Northern Boulevard. We need to make major changes because our population is too dense, too great, and cars just are in the way. Parking on sidewalks, parking double parked. Trucks on Queens Boulevard have to park 2 lanes out to unload merchandise, leaving 2 lanes left for traffic. That's congestion right there. So,
Thank
that's
you.
it. Any questions? Okay.
Okay, I see also, what? Tom spoke, was there another, no, I think did you speak? Tom Delgado? Oh, you put a check mark there, sorry. You put a check mark, that screwed me up, or I did, thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to. And Leticia, I thought, do you want to be?
Yeah, sure.
On public comment? Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Tom Delgado. I just wanted to come and introduce myself. I live in Woodside, been there for a few years. I actually volunteer with Woodside on the Move. I'm actually, yeah, they're a great organization. But I just want to introduce myself. I actually, I'm a comedian, and I have a TV show on New York City Life Channel called Walking NYC. I'm a former tour guide, and I know a lot about producing shows. I know a lot about doing a lot of different things. I just want to get more involved. So I thought I'd just come up here and introduce myself a little bit. And I also used to be a former lawyer. If you guys need that, I guess I could make an exception and dust off my old law degree. But yeah, I just want to introduce myself. You know, you have me at your service, I guess. But yeah, that's going to cost you, buddy. How much money you get? But no, other than that, yeah. Thank you guys for doing this. You guys are doing a lot of great work. So I just want to introduce myself. And yeah, I'm Tom. Nice to meet you.
I would just say that much as I said to Jordan, we don't have social workers, we don't have any comedians on the board either. So.
I know you guys have an arts and culture committee.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, hello.
Hey, how are you?
Which is why everybody was pointing. I'm Carisha, nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you.
I chair the Arts and Culture Committee.
Yeah,
Our next meeting, if you'd like to come, it's on Zoom, it's open to everyone.
Cool.
We'd love to learn more about you, and it's going to be this coming Tuesday, 6 o'clock on Zoom. The link and the agenda are on the community board website, but I can also connect with you offline and get your information.
Yeah, that would be great. Unfortunately, I have a show on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, yeah, weekly show, unfortunately, so I won't be able to make that. But yeah, if you guys want to come out. But no, it's every Tuesday, so yeah, I would love to connect to you aside though.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
great, thank you for coming.
Cool, of course.
Maury.
Just started the period to apply for membership and to become a board member. Maybe you want to consider that.
Yeah, sure. I'll take a look at that. I don't get paid. That's okay. Comedians usually don't get paid either, so that's all right.
The borough president's rep is here, and she had information. Is Laura still here? Oh yeah, go talk to her.
Oh, yeah, okay, we'll do.
Find out more.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, and Leticia? There you are. Okay, she's in dual role, public comment versus.
Hi, I'm here as a public member, so I've mentioned this before, but I'll say it again, and I'll probably say it at every meeting. But I'm Leticia. I was born and raised here in Sunnyside to immigrant parents, and I just want to make or plea or ask community and community board to please stay alert, look out for one another, especially our immigrant constituents, and respond calmly and safely when you see ICE in a neighborhood. So 2 acronyms or 2 things to remember. One is being salute, which is size, how many officers, agents are present, activity, what are they doing, questioning, detaining, location, exact place, address, cross streets, uniforms, what are they wearing, any visible agency markings, time, date and time of the activity, equipment, vehicles, license plates, weapons, or other gear, and practice the 5 Ds, which is direct, calmly intervene if it feels safe, distract, create a distraction to interrupt the situation, delegate, get help from others, community leaders or organizations, document, record details, if it's safe and legal, and delay, check in with the person afterward and offer support. There's also a NYC hotline to report any ICE sightings, and that is, hold on. Hold on. One second. Also, while I'm looking for it, there's a lot of community members in Woodside and Sunnyside, Long Island City, who have group chats and things like that that are basically positioned to help people get to the train or get their kids to school and things like that. So as of most recently, right, there was a parent who was detained and their parents at PS 343, which is the Children's Lab School here on 42nd Street. And so yeah, so the hotline is 229-304-8720. And that is for you to call or text if you see ICE, but make sure you practice salute and the 5 Ds. And that is all.
Would you repeat that phone number again a little more slowly?
The number is 229-304-8720. Like I said, there's also group chats. Julie Wan's office has also been very engaged and involved in terms of like facilitating trainings and grouping. So reaching out to her office, it would be cool as well. And that is it.
Quick question.
Oh,
thank you. Yes.
That's a heck of a number to try to remember. So has there been any discussion at the city level, maybe Councilmember Wan's office would know this too, about being able to call 311 and then directing the call to that hotline?
Not sure. I just know of the hotline.
Right, because it's just like in the moment, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, even so, you're like, that's a lot of numbers. So
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there if there's any discussion.
All right, cool beans. Thank you.
Thank you. Laura, do you have public comment, or did you?
Laura, as your neighbor, I know that a lot of people have been upset to see Horacio Reyes's ghost bike removed on 43rd Avenue and 39th Street. The BMW dealership reconstructed the sidewalk. I spoke to the construction workers on my way in, and they said to follow up with the foreman, so I will do that tomorrow to ensure that the ghost bike is restored. I know that this is an important memorial to a lot of us, and especially to Halacio's family. So, yes, just wanted to let you know.
Is there, it appeared to me, I was noticing as I came in, but the sign that it's attached to the pole, so maybe there's a missing sign as well that needs to get returned to that location. Okay, so I think we have completed our public comment and other comments section, and we're ready to transition to the business section of the board. It will start with Ryan, ready to take attendance.
All right, Madam Acting Chair, thank you. All right, here we go. Good evening, everyone. We'll start with Amparo Abelbay. Nelly Afshar. Online or absent? Excused. Anatol Ashraf. John Bahia. Karisha Batan. And Nick Berkowitz. Nick, are you online?
Yes, I am. Thanks, Debbie.
Thank you.
Nelly's online as well.
All right. Nelly Afshar, are you online? Can you say present? All right, we'll come back to you. Danielle Brecker? Present. All right, thanks. Carlos Castel-Croak? All right, Evelyn Chango? Present. Lisa Charles? Tanya Chavez? Osman Chowdhury? Steve Cooper? Present. Warren Davis? Lisa Deller? Maury Gallinoy? Dr. Raz Danunzas? Alexandra Gonzalez?
Present online.
All right, thank you. Camille Gray? Kenny Greenberg? Corey Hannigan?
Present.
Thanks. Mohammed Hossein? Christine Hunter? You tell me.
Yes, present. I'm sorry, this is Christine.
All right, thank you so much. James Kim? Thank you. Prameet Kumar?
Present online.
All right, thanks. Chimeng Lama? Absent. Bradford Laban? Absent. Sheila Lewandowski? All right. Benjamin Lucas? Absent, I believe. All right. Patrick Martinez, excused. Eric Narberg? All right, thanks. Andy Olivares? Absent. Absent. All right. Riley Owens? Jolly Patel? Jolly Patel, can you unmute?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, thank you.
Present online.
Randy Plumel? Pia Raman?
Here.
All right, thanks. Maya Saab? All right, thank you. Norberto Saldana? All right, thanks. Alyssa Sawicki? Excused. Fujalsan Sherpa? All right, absent. Ryan Smith, I'm here. Lauren Springer? All right. Akello Thomas? Absent. Maurice Valdez? Elena Van Sluten? Okay, excused. Leticia Vasquez? Leticia? Oh. Michael Zurab? All right, great. Thank you so much. We have a quorum.
Very much, Ryan. Okay, we move on. At this point, we need to approve the minutes from, right? Are we missing something? Oh, to approve, oh, yes, of course, come, please, Amparo Abelby and Carlos Castelcroce. So, let's take the vote, folks. Anybody opposed or anybody, and anybody abstaining? Yes, go for it. Christine.
One of the questions or discussions around quorum is on voting and this is a vote. So having a quorum present is not necessarily a quorum to vote.
We have plenty of people. We have a quorum for voting as well.
That's what, thank you.
Yeah, we have that.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony.
It's being brought up as we're going through the Bible.
Yeah. Yes, Riley? Okay, so, and Christine Hunter?
I would like to abstain because I wasn't present at the meeting in December.
Okay, and Maury? Abstaining also, Norberto also, and James Kim also. You're all abstainers, right? I believe so. Yeah. Okay, so everybody, is anybody opposed or? No, so then what do we say? We say? All in favor? All in favor, yeah, come on, raise your hand.
So it's unanimous with 5 abstentions.
Yeah, with 5 abstentions passed, okay. All right, so now we have the chairperson's report, and we want to alert you, amongst other things, that the applications for board membership, as we've already said several times, are open. I think they're open now or about to be open, and they're open and they go through February 13th, yes. So please reach out, and in connection with that, and I know Tanya will say more, but the winter meet and greet will be an opportunity. We also should mention that the public members should also apply, and they may have to reapply, if those that are public members as well, because they're attached to committees. But their application does not go through Bo, right? It comes through the office, basically, and through the chair, right?
If you're a public member.
Yeah.
If you're a public member of one of our committees, you are highly encouraged to apply. Or to open application.
Apply for the full board? Yes, if you are a public member and you would like to be a full board, that's an excellent stepping stone to become a full board member. Again, it shows commitment if you've been going to the meetings as a public member. Okay, so we also want to mention on December 18th, we had an executive and personnel committee meeting. And for the official record, we did go into executive session to discuss staff performance. It's a personnel matter, and therefore personal also. And any questions would be taken offline. We just want you to be aware that the personnel committee has been following through on its duties. In addition, we have two further reports. Now, Sheila, would you like to say something about the bylaws revision? And then we'll hear from Michael.
Hi, everybody, very quick. Vice Chair of the Bylaws Revisions Task Force, Patrick Martinez is not here tonight, so asked me to give a quick update. I'd like to thank Nellie, Leticia, Randy, Eric, Maury, Michael, Raz, Pia, and Stephen for all their work to date. We are still working through draft. We have another meeting before we will get a draft update to the full board by January 28th to be discussed at the February meeting, and so that we can turn around and have it done before our new members come in April. So the current bylaws are on the website, so anyone can go on, take a look. If there's any additional input, we're open to it, but we've been working pretty hard and doing a lot. So that's it. Any questions?
Yeah, I think the main thing to emphasize is that you really should expect to read something prior to next month's meeting, about a week in advance. We're working hard to hit that target. Have it ready for you.
We're not going to be voting on it next month, though. We're just going to discuss it.
Yes, I guess. Okay, and Michael. The main goal is to get it done by the end of this term so that new members will have a new set of bylaws. Go for it.
Yep, so quick update on some treasurer items following up from the December meeting. So the first thing I wanted to share is that the board's operational budget expenses from Q1 of this year are now on the board's website. And I've been working closely with the office on just kind of creating a regular quarterly cadence where we share those updates with you all and put them on the website. And I feel like we're in a good place on that. So I wanted to thank the office for working with me on it. The second thing is on the bylaws, which we just talked about, that working to codify some of the things the treasurer has done historically on this board, like with the capital budget and expense committee, that actually are kind of more vaguely attributed to the executive board in the bylaws, and also add a bit of process on how the operational budget works, which our bylaws are not are a little too vague on, I think. So yeah, wanted to thank Sheila and Patrick and the rest of the bylaws committee for their help and more generally on that work. Third thing, I don't want to steal the thunder, but I learned from the office a couple of days ago that we made a lot of progress on Zoom, which I know has been a recurring issue relevant to our operational budget. So I'm sure Debbie will share more with that in a moment. And then the fourth thing, I wanted to just sort of pitch or say, I think we're sort of building the plane as we're flying it with respect to kind of revising how we approach the operational budget and trying to get a little bit more input from the full board on that. And I think what I'd like to do is just sort of create a forum where anyone on the board can share feedback on things that they'd like to do differently with respect to that. So, you know, anything as simple as like, I mean, I've heard all sorts of things from swag to refreshments to more substantive things. But I think it would just be good to create some opportunity for input that I can then kind of summarize and share with the office, and we can sort of work together as the next fiscal year starts to see what, if anything, we can incorporate. Like we've talked about, you know, it's a pretty constrained piece of money, both in terms of how much is allocated that isn't already, you know, kind of set away, and also how we can use the money is quite limited. So I don't want to like set expectations high, but I do want to just give people an opportunity to voice ideas that we can then kind of circulate and see what happens with. That's everything. Thanks.
Thank you, Michael. I gather no particular questions there. So now Debbie, the district manager report.
Thank you, everybody. Happy New Year, and anyone that's feeling under the weather, I'm sorry, and I hope you all feel better soon. Couple things. I wasn't going to share anything about Zoom. We've been working that internally, so thank you. That was very nice of you. That we're trying to make it compliant and as best transparent, and protections to put in place so that we can all make sure that we're all safe as much as we can be. Department of Sanitation, no trash, curbside, compost, or recycling on Monday, January 19th on Martin Luther King Day. Winter schedule began for 2026 snow season. Parks, Mulch Fest, say goodbye to the trees until January 11th. There's a flyer. We also have it on the website. Torsney will be a chipping site on Sunday, January 11th. The other chipping sites are Astoria, Hunters Point South Park, and Travis will be January 10th and 11th. Thank you. DDC, installation of catch basins, chutes, and manholes in the area of Northern Boulevard and 58th Street from January 12th through the 16th, and the same 43rd Avenue and 57th Street from January 12th through the 16th. They will be working to clean out, repair, and do whatever's needed. The office had approximately 18 original complaints for the month. Actually, DOT beat PD this year, this time. Potholes, pedestrian walkways, and PD, of course, was illegal vehicles, sidewalk, and double parking. And a lot of you have mentioned some new sites. We want to make sure that they're included. I have a cabinet meeting at the end of the month, so we will press hard with PD. And I'm told Consumer Affairs is going to also go by the Kia dealer, because they're taking up an entire lane of double parking. That Kia dealer on 37th Avenue going to Woodside Avenue are very bad actors. So sorry about that, but we are on top of all these complaints, and we're going to try to do our best. And I've asked the captain to come to City Services on Zoom. I have not gotten a response yet. As soon as I do, I'll share that with you. I think Anatole, you asked me to read the list. He would have, but he's losing his voice. I'm sorry. Renewals for the applications. I'm going to call out your name just to remind you. Take this as your official reminder to reapply. Put your application in online, right, Laura? So we'll say John Bahia, Carisha Baton, Nick Berkowitz, Lisa Charles, Tanya Shavers, Osmond Chowdhury, Stephen Cooper, Lisa Deller, Maury Gallinoy, Alexandria Gonzalez, Kenny Greenberg, James Kim, Chimichang Lima, Sheila Lewandowski, Benjamin Lucas, Patrick Martinez, Andy Olivares, Riley Owens, Jolly Patel, Norberto Saldana, Ryan Smith, Lauren Springer, and Akelo Thomas, and Michael Zorab. All of you, please make sure you get your applications in online to be reapplied.
Thank you very much. And now we're ready for committee reports. And we are trying to, we may not make 8:30, but we're trying hard. 30, well, we'll say 2 minutes each, okay? So we're starting with, in this sequence, I guess, transportation, Riley, and after that, health and human services.
Sure.
Then arts and culture.
Kind of move. Not many updates. One important update, very exciting. Court Square Park is getting a pedestrian improvements by the end of this year. I attended a DOT webinar where I saw conceptual plans. I don't know if they're final design plans, but it's very exciting. Essentially, I've got some project objectives here. Pedestrian safety improvements, new public space, modernize the local street network, and upgrade water main and sewer lines. Thompson Avenue at Court Square Park is going to become a one-way to encourage traffic on the arterials. And Court Square West is going to be a shared street which will be raised up to sidewalk level to discourage drivers from speeding or moving very quickly, so there's more pedestrian space. These sidewalks will be remade with more street trees and more permeable surfaces. So that's very exciting stuff. I have noticed, and I've spoken to DOT, that we're missing many crosswalks in our district, so if you're missing any crosswalks, please contact me or the office so we can send that to DOT, and maybe if there's a warm day, we'll get those crosswalks painted. That's it.
Thank you very much. Yes. Oh, question.
Questions?
Oh, Christine, do you have a question? Oh, all right. I had said that Lauren would come in, but we're going to bring land use on. Thank you, Riley. Okay. Now,
Yes.
question?
A question for me.
Microphone. Wait for the mic, please.
Thank you. In terms of Court Square West, how will it affect the parking lot there if it's going to be one way? They're both currently two-way streets. Because it's egress for the lot.
I'm not really familiar with the parking lot there, but Court Square West will still be accessible, and it's still going to be two-way. It's Thompson that's going to be one-way.
But I should also. Wait, we need the mic. Tanya, you either have to have a mic or.
No, we're just telling Camille it's the opposite side of the park. It's not the one that goes to the parking lot. It's the other side, right where Citibank is at. That is gonna come only one way.
Okay.
All right. I can show you a picture.
Can we,
I'm sure that makes sense as a person who parks at that lot.
Can we do that offline? Yeah, so I think what we're going to do next is to have land use, and that Christine is also going to be stepping down as land use chair, and Pramit is stepping up. So thank you so much for your service, and welcome to new responsibilities, Pramit. But I guess Christine, is your last hurrah here or
Yes,
something?
I didn't mean to displace Lauren. In asking the question, I just didn't hear you say the committee name, but can everyone?
Okay. Go.
Okay. So the main item that we had at land use was a presentation by the architects for the new school in Court Square at 2310 43rd Avenue. They are asking for a revocable consent because for one stairway exit and ramp to go a little bit over the sidewalk more than is currently allowed as of right for accessibility. But interestingly, that school is being to speed it up and perhaps also to make it more affordable. They are reusing the foundation of the existing building, which is a fairly recent building, I think, of a couple of stories already, so it may be in pretty good shape. And so that they don't have to do a whole excavation. And ideally, that will bring the school online a lot more quickly. In any case, the revocable consent was approved unanimously by the committee. And then we also had a presentation from Parks about this Queens Walk to Park site selection. That's going to it's going to be a ULURP process, which will probably kick off in January. So I think the board will get a presentation. I assume, I'm sorry, it is January. Well, I assume it in February. I mean, they need to come and present it to the full board for the ULURP kickoff. And lastly, so I won't go into that in detail. And then we did have there's been a longstanding request from Phipps for their contractor to get an increased allowability of Saturday construction. They already are allowed to start at 9 on Saturdays. They were requesting 7, and this was opposed by the Phipps Tenants Council. We asked them to go to the Tenants Council first. So the board had a discussion and kind of split the difference. There was some feeling that because this is 100% affordable housing, we want to, help finish on time and get the project up and running, and at the same time respect Phipps. So what we approved was extending it only to 8, not to 7, and not allowing any exterior work or trucks that cause noise in that early part of the morning. That's it.
Okay, Steve has a question.
Yeah.
Microphone. Who's got the mic? Good.
Christina, regarding the revocable consent, is that a ULURP item?
No, I don't believe it is a ULURP procedure. So it doesn't, I don't think it comes before the full board.
That's the reason I'm asking. If it is, it does. That's why I want to. If you don't think it is, I'm not in a position of disagreeing.
Okay. Maybe city planning can correct me if they're still there, but our understanding was
City planning is here.
They were asking for a letter, but not an official, a letter of support.
Sure. Yeah, so this isn't a ULURP, it's a revocable consent, something that comes to the land use committee just for approval. Christine talked about it, it's a staircase location for a school that's already being built.
Thank you. Okay, so next, what?
No, just once again, just once again, thank you, Christine, for chairing us for at least 3 years, right? Taking over from Lisa, 2 years of one LIC and just being our expert. So thank you so much. And for me, they got big shoes to fill, although you did it before at CD6.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, so now we're coming to Health and Human Services.
Okay, so for Health and Human Services, last month we heard from the principal of Queens Technical High School, Amaris School, Luis Garcia, and then we also had a presentation by Abbott Community Partnership. Yeah, Abbott House Community Partnership talked about foster parenting, and there's a great need for it, in particular for fostering teens and sibling groups. Our next meeting is this Monday, January 12th at 6 p.m. virtual. And our originally scheduled speaker can no longer make it, so we're going to hear about the Love Mentoring Program at another time. But what we will hear is we'll hear from Live On New York about organ donation and from the New York Blood Center about blood donations. So, and there's an emergency. They said it just declared an emergency this week in terms of blood shortages. So if you can make it, we welcome you.
Okay, question, Jim. James.
Do you know if there are bedroom requirements for fostering children and what those are?
maybe that's something that has to come up at the meeting. They would be able to tell us.
There's a training, and they did mention something about, in terms of, like, they had to have enough space for a child, but check out our minutes, because there's some contact information there, but they do have trainings and virtual trainings, so, yeah.
Okay, next. Risha.
Oh, great. Okay, so December, we have, as usual, a lot of lovely arts and cultural institutions, as the Sunnyside Shines Bid and the LIC partnership, that come and tell us all of the wonderful events that everyone's happening. So we had a lot of holiday announcements. The partnership is getting ready for Lunar New Year. Within committee, we got some updates. If you haven't heard yet, MoMA PS1 is now free rerun, which is awesome. So make sure you go and support them and check out their work. I had, with the partnership of the Borough President's Office, convened all of the arts and committees, this mic is going in and out, across the borough, or any committees in community boards in Queens that had arts and cultural affair underneath their committee. I don't know if I said this last month or not, but I can share the minutes from that meeting with everyone. But in general, only CB1 have designated arts and cultural committees. Everybody else in the borough, it falls under consumer affairs, falls under parks and recreation or nightlife. But what we're trying to do here, especially now, you know, there's a lot of investment coming into the borough. We just passed 2 major rezonings. We're getting a soccer stadium. We're getting another casino. We're expanding our first casino. So we want to make sure that this is the time are heard, making sure that economic investment, they are also investing in local artists. So that's something that we're talking about in committee, and bringing speakers to come and give us more information about these types of efforts, along with one LIP. Sorry, I think there was like one more exciting thing that I wanted to announce. No, World Cup and Winter Olympics all around the corner. Get ready for that. And then our next meeting is on Tuesday. Please come. We're going to start ramping up our Murals and Gates initiative now that it's going to start getting warmer. Working with Sunnyside Shines to contact different property owners and businesses to see if we can get more public art up on walls and on gates. So thanks.
Okay. And, yeah, Eric, you're holding up a sign, which is...
Yeah, I just wanted to add something to our committee's report. Yeah, so you'll see on your tables, just a reminder, the HTC landmark survey is still open through the end of this month. We've only gotten about a dozen suggestions, and we'd love to see more. Just to give you an idea of some of the things that have been suggested, Boulevard Gardens, the housing complex, the arch, Belova, am I pronouncing that right? The watch, Belova, the watch, which is currently the Church of Latter-day Saints, but used to be the school for watchmaking. That was suggested as well. So just to give you an idea of the diversity of things that have been suggested, we really want to hear more ideas like that. So encourage folks to take a look at that survey. Again, the flyers on your tables, and encourage people to fill that out. That's all.
Thank you. Sorry, also remembered, update on Bliss Theater is coming to land use this month, which is sort of related to arts and culture activity. So folks are interested in a presentation from the Bliss Theater folks, please come to land use this month as well, including my committee.
Okay, next up, city services.
Thank you. Hey, Happy New Year. So we met about a month ago because our next meeting is this coming Wednesday, the 14th at 6:30. Two things. One, as Debbie mentioned, we're trying to get the precinct captain, the 108 captain at the meeting. It may not be this month, it may be a future month, but we'll let you know. But if you do, once that's announced, if you do have questions, if you could send them to Debbie, but then she'll get them to Steve and myself. And one other thing, I just did want to mention that one thing we heard from several of the restaurant owners that we talked to last month was that many of them are really struggling in our current situation. And so if you do have any extra, I know it's tough, any extra dollars to spend and want to go out for a good dinner, please do it in the CB2 district and help them out. Thanks.
We lost Alewife because of the times. So yeah, support matters a lot right now.
Okay, and next, Carlos for environment.
We didn't have a meeting last month, but our next meeting is January 22nd. Debbie, I don't think we're on the calendar on the website. Can you mind putting them on? Thank you. And we're going to be having a presentation from Beyond Plastics to talk about some legislation that they're supporting. Generally, I want to maybe have some conversations in my committee about environmental and parks legislation at the state legislature that we can ask our elected officials to support. So if anyone has any ideas, we're going to be having some conversations about that. Let me know.
Okay, and now small business, local economy. Maury, do you have something?
Well, small business didn't meet last month, but our next meeting is January 27th at 5 p.m. online. I did want to mention that with the Health and Human Services Committee, Lauren and I went to the Entrepreneur Space, which has, who else went with? Oh, Tanya, sorry, Tanya, with the Engagement Committee, we went to the Entrepreneur Space, which has a commercial kitchen that they're not-for-profit, it's part of the EDC. It's an amazing space that's available for any kind of food service businesses to prepare the food. They have check-in of shipments, they check it in, they store it for them. It's all part of QEDC. For our next meeting, we're hoping to talk a little bit about retail incubators and possibly planning some kind of an event for a workshop for MWBE certification. We're a fledgling committee, so if anybody has any ideas or knows businesses that are curious about how to get help in the community or through city agencies, please reach out to us or suggest any ideas. And we want members, so if any of you are interested in being the Small Business Committee, we want you. Thanks.
Maury, where was the location of the first?
It's right off of Northern Boulevard. Do you remember the exact address? 37th and Northern Boulevard. Is your other half? He's using the space now. Mercedes' husband is using the space and working out of there now. So he has a business we should all support.
Soul Food, Long Island City, right? So, I got it. All right, and now we have engagement. Tanya, are you ready? And everybody, the meet and greet. There we are.
Well, first, I just want to let you know that we had a successful holiday food drive. Thank you, Norberto. So we partnered this time with St. Teresa Church, St. Raphael's Church, and La Jornada. It ended on the 24th. For the Code and Sack drive, it got extended till tomorrow. So if you have unused items in great conditions, you still have time to donate. And we'll be doing the delivery on Saturday. And last, a lot of you have asked for the winter meet and greet. So we finally found a venue, and it's gonna be on Thursday the 15th from 6 to 8 at Focal Point. I just want to make a clarification. This is not a winter celebration or holiday celebration. It's specifically to attract our neighbors, let them engage with them, and let them know that the CB2 applications are open. So please invite your friends and family to come. That's all. Oh, and our next meeting is the 27th at 6.
Come to that one. Tom Delgado, come next week.
Okay, and Amaris, do you have a report?
Yes, I have a few information I just want to deliver, I guess. So
I was part of the initial planning committee for the Queens Tech and Career Fair. So this is going to be the 4th annual one, and it's going to be on January 31st. And it's going to be held at the New York Hall of Science. So this is with the Queensborough President Office. And I just want to make sure that, I just promote it, make sure that everybody comes in. So the focus of this year's fair is going to be AI and gaming. So there's going to be a whole bunch of different activities, a whole bunch of different vendors, and there's going to be mentorships. Last year, we had Cornell Tech mentor some of the students, career changers, and just people in general who just wants to participate. So yes, please come in, pass by. The other thing I want to mention as well is I had a meeting with Siobhan, who is the part of the Sunnyside Community Service. I just want to say thank you. And part of these meetings, basically the chair and I, co-chair and I, we have been trying to reach out to different people in the community to see how we can help them in terms of the tech committee. It's not a very clear role, so I just want to make sure that I get as much input from different people as possible. If anyone has any input, please let me know, send me an email, and let me know how we can help out. I have a few ideas, and I spoke with a few individuals, and I think we're going to have some ideas coming out in the next few months. But if anyone has any input, please reach out to me. All right, thank you.
Okay, well, we're doing pretty well here, and we need a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, Sheila, you won. And, okay, Mohammed over there seconded it. Thank you all very much. Stay warm.